is on the rise now. Endless celebrations all in my house. Levitating now, I'm super duper fly now. London boy, but they see where I reside now. Put the time in while you always yelling time out. And for quit it, cause I know I'm coming with it. You were sitting, you were wishing I was handling my business. Now I got the ball like Harry Potter playing Quidditch. And my business is humongous, you would think that happens in it. Damn man, I'm all that, yeah I'm all that. Looking for that whip, yeah that what you call that. I'ma blow up in the summer, have him yelling fall back. And I've always been ahead like an effing ball cap. Man, I came in the game like whoa. Got a couple chains on me cause I like gold. They told me I'm the best and I told them I know. Cause when I'm in your town, every ticket I sold. Yeah, they saying I'm the man. Facts bro, facts. Lot of haters, tell me where they at though. I'm the new pop, all I do is rap though. Want me on your song, throw a couple stacks, yo. Everybody wanna do the same thing. That's why we ain't on the same page. Do my own thing, and I maintain. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. I'm going mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. Yeah, I'm going mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. I'm going mainstream. Mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. Yeah. I'm going mainstream. Damn. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream.
Buzzing bees in the air, working everywhere, making honey like a factory on compare. Xbox Studios got them busy, instead of games to share. But the honey's so sweet, they don't even care. They're sitting still while the bees are on a spree. We've got a different mission, making honey, you see, they're buzzing around the clock. No time for games or glee, but the bees gotta hustle, even if the devs disagree. Honey, honey, from morning till nightfall, bees working hard, doing it all. Xbox Studios got a sweet surprise for sure. Busy bees making honey beyond the gaming alone. Busy bees making honey beyond the gaming alone. Honey, honey, from morning till nightfall, bees working hard, doing it all. Xbox Studios got a sweet surprise for sure. Busy bees making honey beyond the gaming alone. We got the coffee, steam hot, making sure nothing stops this plot. Phil Porton Xbox games behind the glass. Gotta keep it moving, no time to pass. Rare turning honey and weed, oh so sweet. Green plants everywhere, it's a funky beat. Honey, honey, sticky and rare, deep flowing, nothing can compare. Rare honey, on the rise, ain't nothing gonna hold them down. No lies, sweet like honey, dripping like gold. Rare honey, staying rare forevermore. That booty walking in with them trashy fingers. He can touch the games, but don't let him near the honey. At Rare, there ain't no toilet paper to be seen. We wipe our asses with leaves and keep our spirits sunny. In the land of gaming, he's got stank-ass fingers on the prize. But when it comes to our rare honey, he better think twice. We're keeping it raw, keeping it real, no fancy stuff. Just a touch of sweetness, never enough. Rare honey, dripping like gold, gonna take you to a place no one else knows. Don't you dare mess with our treasure, our pride.
Oh man, rare honey. Delish. What's up, grinders? How you doing? I feel like it has been forever since we had a show. My goodness, a week. So much has gone on, in just with the stuff going on. With me and all the stuff going on, it's been just to get around to doing the show has been tough. So, but I wanted to definitely get something out there this week. I promised, because I was going to do fireworks. Happy 4th of July. Happy Canada Day. Hope everybody had a safe holiday week. I'm going to be going again next week, so there's not going to be a show next week. Sorry to burst everybody, get everybody upset, start with some bad news. But but I'll try to get some songs out and stuff like that. But next week there won't be a show. So that's why I wanted to wait as late as possible to do this one, to try to get some topics out there before I step out again for a week. But just keep it locked here. There's going to be some videos, some clips, and also definitely some music, as you heard, Gaming Grindhouse music coming your way. Rare Honey, one of the classics of the Gaming Grinders, and Ultimate Grinders get all the music day one, and also access to everything in a playlist, musical playlist there. The VIPs use those emojis. We're on our way to get more emojis. I'm working on that next one. So we're working on getting those members to get the next emoji. But, things have been going on. It's been really crazy. And I just was like, I got to get down. I got to set this thing up. I got to do this. And then, so right in between a break, there's going to be one more week of no show on Monday. So, but that's why I wanted to do one now, just to kind of cover it. And also, too, it's been kind of dry. After those shows, and we kind of hit this little lull right now in news, nonetheless, not games, but in news, and what's coming, and you get to see what's coming out or what's anticipated for the rest of the year, maybe next year, with these kind of midsummer shows that they had last month. And then you're kind of like, now you're in the wait. Now it's like okay, that's interesting. Oh, but we can't play them right now. So now we're waiting, because next month is going to be friggin' insane. That's the start of it, and of what we're going to be playing and things like that. But shout out to everybody coming on here, Nia. What's up, man? Chad Stuttle, man, it's 3 a.m. in Australia. Sorry, man. Yeah, I figured, even doing an afternoon show, too, because some of the people I know overseas definitely want to listen, because I know, it's late on East Coast time, and they kind of can't do that. So, just try to do that. Sorry, man. Chad. What's up, man? Yolis Wild Wolf, Richard Farmer, man. I feel like I haven't said these names in forever. Bitrate, Wild Wolf in the house. Michael, how you doing, man? Rami, Leech, Hooked on Gyro, how you doing? How's everybody doing on there, man? Oh, my goodness. Brian, what's up? Ron M, how you doing, man? Fedolari, Ice Queen Gaming. How's everybody, man? Everyone's playing Elden Ring. Yeah, I don't play Elden Ring. All right, so I don't play that one, because I saw that whole thing with the Elden Ring being extra hot. Hey, I have no comment here, because I bought Elden Ring and did not really play it. I played it a couple times co-op with Frogs, co-op with Mooch. Even Frogs has been around. I haven't talked to Frogs in a while. Like I haven't. It's been that kind of. It's the summer. It is what it is. I know it's been a week and a half. It feels like forever. It feels like I've been away a month. Dude, that's the thing. It feels like I've been away a friggin' month. I was just like, oh my God. I'm looking at my last video. I'm like, I did that late night Tuesday night show. And I was just like, what the hell? I'm like, man, that feels like ages ago. And I wanted to do a show last Friday, but I'm telling you, and also work. Work has been insane. It's been crazy. Everybody's trying to get ready to go on vacation. Everybody's doing the last minute stuff, too. But yo, shout out to Ron M. Thank you for the 5 gifted grinders. Yo, get them on there. Bitrate got it. NZ Gamer got one. Brian M. Leach, yes, bring him on in. Use those things. Hook thought that his notifications were broke. No, man, it was this. I was trying to put things out on the YouTube community, you know, the channel community thing as well. But yeah, and I've been trying to. I'm finishing up Stellar Blade. I'm like right on the last boss. Like I've been finishing that. Loving that game, and just been kind of doing that one. And then yeah, just doing Stellar Blade. And I downloaded the first Descendant. I have not played it yet. I plan on trying to get into it next week while I'm away. Trying to do that to see, you know, while I'm stepped away from the computer, I'll try to get that gaming on the go there. But hey, thanks, Hook. I really appreciate it, man. Rare honey, 6 out of 10. Oh shit. Affecting the S is affecting the honey too. Yo, as you can see from the topics, dude.
You're my number one customer.
I gave Phil some time to breathe. That's what I did. Yo, what's up, True Witty with the 2? He goes, finally a beach console game. Am hyped. Oh, a beach console game. Yeah. So the first time I haven't played that yet. Doing that one. So what beach? Finally a beach console game. Am hyped. What beach console game is that, True Witty? Which one is that? I don't know. Oh, beach console. And also, too, like, I haven't even been on the Twitters. Like, I've been just kind of bookmarking things and just walking around. So these are the kind of things I put together today. One of the things that kind of kicked off everything I wanted to do a show on it was just a hands-on with Astrobot on Concord, which, you know, what's interesting is that we'd say, hey, you know, like, we come out of these showcases or these shows or these whatever the hell these mid-year things are, no E3, and we wonder, because like, well, wait a second, you know, did anybody try them? Did anybody play these games? Everything's behind closed doors, or did they even show it? Well, we know who does that. Oh, Bleach. Thank you, True Witty. All right, Bleach. Oh, he said a Bleach game. Oh, yeah, because the last one I saw was like last gen was a Bleach game. I was like, a beach game. I was like, oh, shit. What is he talking about? Goddamn Dead or Alive beach volleyball? Oh, so who knows who can bring that one back? At the Stellar Blade, who knows the commotions that would cause. But first topic, yo, hands-on. Hands-on. Yo, I remember playing the Bleach game, Steven, back on the PSP. And my friend was telling me all about Bleach and stuff like that. And there was a fighting game, too, I think, on the PS4. PS4 had a Bleach game on there. So it's nice to have a new one. You know, I don't know if this is a fighting game. Is it a fighting game? They usually are fighting games, the Bleach games. On that one. I know it's a cool anime. But yeah, so coming out of this whatever showcase season of June, whatever the hell that thing was, we got here finally we got some hands-on, because now you know what Astrobot and Concord got a hands-on, because you know the beta will be coming out, and actually hopefully I can play the beta live. I know it happens right when I'm around where I could be. I'll see. I want to definitely play it. PS3 had one too, Leech. That's right. But yeah, hands-on with Concord. The beta is coming out in the next week or so. Comes out, I believe, the 15th, 16th. I think it comes around the 13th. Somewhere at the end of next week, it's coming out. For those that pre-ordered it, and you get 4 codes. That's the closed beta, and then the week after is going to be an open beta for Concord. But a lot of people got hands on it, and, you know, one of the things... What's up, Sweet Willie? How you doing? You know, one of the things that they said was, you know, the first thing they compare it to is other games, and they go, it's like an Overwatch and a Destiny type game. So, listen, I really didn't even see the coverage. I just saw some headlines, and I didn't even read it because I wanted to save the reaction for when I went live with the Grindhouse. I was like, let's look at it together, because I didn't see it. So I was like, yo, what? Let's watch it, because apparently, we had IGN that got their first hands-on. Also, other outlets also had it. And I just saw some, you know, headlines. It seems to be kind of favorable. Like, you know, everybody's a little wishy-washy about service games. Like, what's the longevity? What's the content? What's the structure? But I saw that, you know, basically is going to have, you know, cosmetics is going to be the monetization of it. It's $40. It's going to be PC, PlayStation 5, day one. And, yeah, I wanted to just watch the new gameplay. And the one thing that I always talk about, and I belabor this on the show all the time, is that this is the kind of information we need. We don't need a bunch of articles where the people didn't get to play it, or people played. Like, new gameplay, captured impressions. this is the start. We're getting a hands-on. This is where you make the decision as a consumer. You get your education of whether you want to buy it or not, whether you like it. And this is the start of it. So with that, let's go watch their little hands-on here that we got.
Last year with a simple video that showcased a
Concord.
ship cruising through space. After seeing that short teaser, I honestly expected to see a story-driven FPS. This is a first-party Sony game, after all, but maybe it'd be something like an MMO, a la Destiny. I was on board for a new experience regardless, but then I was somewhat—
Listen, before we get, you know what? I don't want, sometimes I just want to mute people. I don't want to hear what they say. I just want to say it. There we go. And I see some people saying, I don't understand the hate. Listen, I think First off, when you say service game, what's up, Billy? How you doing? When you say service game, already connotations start. Service, gotchas. Who's gonna pay? How much? It already starts. Then we saw the game, and I really don't think it was I don't think it was a really good. I guess it's kind of hard to. I don't know. I don't think it didn't look like it differentiated itself that much from what's already out there. Hero shooter, we've been there. Overwatch, we've been there. Space things, Guardians of the Galaxy. Okay, you're already making comparisons. It's already not staying as unique, and I think that's where a lot of the stuff came from. We need to see more. We need to get hands on. So let's hear what they have to say. And again, I wasn't blown away by it. It looked interesting. I didn't like the CGI video intro. I guess that's what they're going to do to tell the story each week, and they kind of wanted to use that. But, I wasn't blown away. I didn't see anything new game mode, new mechanics. I didn't see anything that really struck me in the initial thing. So not hate, but just kind of I'm not super excited, but I'm interested. So let's see what they have to say.
Since some of my favorite FPS games like Overwatch and Apex Legends do this seasonally as well. Each season that releases will be free to all players who only have to purchase the game and enjoy future updates to come. While I enjoyed my time in the limited hands-on preview overall, I have several concerns for the longevity of Concord and what it has to offer.
Let's see.
Concord's meat and potatoes formula is a pretty standard 5v5 setup, with two teams choosing their preferred character before diving into an objective-based team battle. During the preview, I was able to play 3 of 6 modes that will be available at launch: Trophy Hunt, Cargo Run, and Clash Point. Trophy Hunt was the only one that featured respawns in the match and was basically kill-confirmed team deathmatch. The single life modes were—
That's cool. So they did say this prior to the previews that there is a team deathmatch, kill confirmed. So there is that. It's not just objective fighting game modes.
tough to warm up on while still getting to know the game, as failure obviously means you're out of the action for a bit. And while Concord is a fairly straightforward FPS, I have a core criticism a mere 2 months from its August 24th launch. In the build I played, the movement felt extremely floaty and required a lot of time to get used to. And while Concord will be released on PC day and date with PS5, I was only able to preview this on PS5 with a controller. So with that in mind, I'd say the movement is heavily reminiscent of Destiny and Halo. Again, it is incredibly floaty, which could be a fun element if it is done well. However, the way the preview build felt, the feather-like jumps and hang time really didn't match the amount of fast-paced fights that could occur at any time in the matches. While Halo does utilize a similar floaty jump mechanic, the rest of the mechanics and gameplay in Halo justify that reasoning and don't make it feel like the odd element out.
I can see right now while I'm watching right now, it definitely looks like Destiny. Like I'm getting Destiny vibes. I'm like, it's Destiny. I'm looking at it and the floatiness and what the movement right now and the way they're casting things out. I'm getting a lot of Destiny multiplayer vibes from it. It looks like that with that floatiness. Like that's what it definitely looks like with a kind of an Overwatchy type skin. That's what I'm seeing right now. I know Concord. I said Concord. I'm like Concord. That's our Bender strings. I'm like, yeah. So that's what I'm seeing right now. I am seeing that it's not this quick, fast-paced kind of shooting that you would get from a Call of Duties or something like that. It definitely looks definitely more of a Destiny multiplayer from what I'm looking at right now.
Grenades also feel light when launched.
Really, Robert Owens, you don't think it looks like it? Don't you think the movements look like the movement, the floatiness? Not that it look like, but like I see the movements is like Destiny. That's right, Hook. You never jump in Halo. You get killed.
So the air, the various abilities in Halo all have the same weight and cadence to them, and the match pacing reflects the balancing between the base game
First off, I don't know why she's pulling Halo, and I wouldn't even say Halo. But
mechanics. Similarly, Destiny is a game that's more PvE related, and thus does not need the incredibly snappy mechanics that Halo or Concord need in PvP fights.
Concord.
Even in the PvP fights in Destiny, the usual TTK is slower since the fights can be drawn out due to the different class abilities allowing for slower or faster play, depending on how players choose to engage. So if they decide to be more direct or play a little bit more reserved. Each class has different movement capabilities and healing abilities that ensure match pacing stays consistent throughout. So the problem in Concord, at least in this preview version, is that it takes little pieces from games like Halo and Destiny and mixes them together in a formula that there are set to be 6 total maps at launch.
IGN again with their stuff. If you look at the comments of the video, she gets corrected right here. She said 6 maps at launch. Stella here, there'll actually be 12 maps at launch. All right, so just to be clear there, she says 6, it's 12. Which is, I think, a plenty big size of maps for a launch, definitely. 6, I think, was a little low, but it says that she confirmed in the thing that it is 12.
Launch, so maybe some of the game modes will feel better paced and optimized on the other ones when spread out. But the way things stand currently, most maps felt oddly misshapen. Some lanes were too long or big and barely saw rotations, while the second lane in another map would just feel entirely too small and cause prolonged team fights due to its claustrophobic size. Concord touts its competitive nature and fast-paced fights. I love all of that, but found that the competitiveness risks being unwelcoming to new players attempting to learn the game because most of the game modes are single life focused. It's important to note that even if you are an incredible player, Concord is not a game that allows for many 1v2 fights to be won. Unlike a game of Apex or Halo where you can potentially outsmart your opponents and win in 1v2 scenarios, Concord is so heavily a team game that you're—
Why does she keep saying Halo? Why does she keep saying Halo? And that's a fact. You can't really do a 2v1 in Halo. Like, no. No, they get your shields down. That's it. It's really hard to do a 2v1 in Halo. I don't know why she keeps comparing to Halo. I don't see even shields. You know, that's the whole multiplayer I find is with Halo. It's managing the shield and getting that shield pop. That's a whole level of Halo. I don't see any shields here. Yeah, I don't see any shields. I don't know why they keep talking. And it doesn't look like Halo. Halo, I think it looks a lot like the Destiny multiplayer. That's what it looks like.
You're not able to succeed if you're on your own. While this is the point of team FPS games, it's pretty punishing for modes like Trophy Hunt, where you're encouraged to go off and get kills for the objective.
Sorry, Damasi, I don't know what's going on with notifications.
Another reason these lopsided matchups are impossible to win is the fact that each character in Concord has their own health pool and hitbox. This would be fine if the characters had your traditional classes, but Concord doesn't utilize your typical class system. Usually, each class has their own health stats that you can expect each character in that label to have. Take a look at Overwatch, for example. Most tanks have a base health of anywhere from about 525 to 700, with combinations of shields or armor in-game for specific characters that have them like D.Va and Reinhardt. In Concord, it was incredibly difficult to tell what exactly the health pool was for any of the classes, since nothing was really established with their system. For example, One-Off is a really cute robot who sucks up trash and is most definitely a tank character with his big physique, clunky movement, and hard-hitting weaponry who has 300 health. However, Teo, who is essentially a DPS that plays like your traditional ground soldier-like character with no tank abilities, has 220 health as a Concord Ranger class. That's only 80 off of your tank character. But Roka, another character who is essentially a DPS, is classified as a Hunt and has a mere 170 health. What these non-traditional classes mean is extremely confusing. In the preview, we weren't given details on each class and what the terms mean, but it all seems a bit arbitrary when the health pools and damage numbers vary so much, causing an even further division of game balancing. Overwatch also utilizes the system of ensuring there is a roster for the amount of characters allowed from each class. Concord currently does not.
All right, you know what? One of the things that I'm not understanding this thing is that this is a hands-on preview of the game. Like, this is a hands-on preview. This is a preview. I don't know why it sounds like a review. Like, it sounds like this is a like balancing and stuff like that. It's like I don't know. Like, I feel like, preview, like, we should be hearing more about the character's abilities and how they affect the game modes and things like that. More that kind of stuff. We're getting very kind of like review Concord. Like, I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know. I'm getting a sense like, I'm like, is this a review? Because it doesn't, she's being very kind of critical and comparing it to other games and all this other stuff. I'm like, well, first off, I don't know. Like, the character's abilities, isn't that the whole point of like what their abilities do? Like, we didn't even get to that yet, and she's almost done. Like, she's just kind of being like complaining about their hitboxes and complaining about their hit pool and stuff like that. I'm like, I'm just, it's kind of strange. Like, those are the things that you take away from a preview. It's like, oh, they're 300 hitboxes, 250. It's kind of weird. Like, I just think it's kind of strange because it sounds like a review. It doesn't sound like a preview. Like, hey, what's coming? Especially since we're going to be playing this in beta. It sounds like a review, right? It really does. I'm like, this sounds pretty analytical because I've seen previews before and they're like, oh, it's fun. The maps are this, the characters do this, the characters balancing with each other, and these are the moves that they have, and these are the game modes that we have. And she's here complaining about, the time to take to walk from the start to one path. It's 11 seconds, and this one's 8 seconds. It's like, yo, kind of weird. Like, that's all right.
Not utilize a mechanic like this and allows players to use whatever characters they want, since these class systems are not traditional. While this is fun in theory, my brief experience playing a competitive game like Concord, it doesn't pan out too well. Another reason Concord is so heavily a team-based game is that each character has their own running speed and damage output. It could be argued that this is an extension of the lack of clear classes, but I did want to focus on this as its own balancing issue. The DPS on characters is pretty important since you're allowed to have a team of whatever characters you want. There are definitely some overpowered characters in the
I don't like, the thing is the classes and stuff like that. She keeps complaining about there's no like classes. Well, that's Overwatch. Overwatch has classes. There's your tank, there's your healer, there's your soldier and stuff like that. This doesn't sound like they're using classes on this one. I don't. It sounds like that every character is just going to be their own character individual, and that's what it is. Like, there's no class based system. Hence, why there is I would think there's a team deathmatch. There's a kill confirmed. Like, that wouldn't work in a class based game, right? Right. I'm just trying to say, yo, hey Zone, what's up, man? I just think that the kind of the stuff they're talking about is kind of not. It's kind of strange. I'm like, then why would they be deathmatch and kill confirmed and stuff? If you had a healer, like, that would be useless in a death. Like, that would be useless. So you have a tank. Like, why would you run around as a tank and kill confirmed? You're basically a bullet sponge. So like, maybe the fact that they have those other game modes in there, maybe they don't go for a class system. So why are you looking? See, you're comparing this already. You're already saying, well, Overwatch has classes. Why are there not classes in here? There's no classes. Look at the hitboxes. Look at the hit points, the speed, everybody. In comparison, it's not Overwatch. So I don't understand that criticism. And comparing Halo, Overwatch, and like, what about the game itself? I don't know. Very strange.
Preview build that you really did need on your team if you
very
wanted
analytical
to win,
for a preview
specifically
too.
in Trophy Hunt.
It's not really.
Let's take a look at the rocket launcher free gunner Roka. She's able to deal 43 damage with direct hits while rapidly firing and establishing her knock on target almost instantly.
Yo, this is ridiculous. Yo, what the fuck? Yo.
Enough from me.
What the yo? She's talking about this is all bound, dude. Are you kidding me? This is before the beta. What are you talking about? Yo, get the hell out of here with this. What kind of clownery is this kind of? This is a preview? I didn't even see this yet. This is ridiculous. Zooming in and talking about hit points and the rocket. Like, what is this? This is, I don't even. IGN doesn't even go in this depth in a freaking review. IGN doesn't even do this in a review, talk about hitboxes. In their review, the preview, they're zooming in and they're talking about the hitboxes and the rockets. It's just so, like, I don't even know what to get out of this thing right now. I have no clue. I don't know whether I like it, I don't like it. All I know is, like, the hitboxes and, like, Talking about gun. What the hell are we talking about? Like, I'm like, what are you talking about? First of all, I have questions. Who the hell is the Rocket Lady? What is her abilities? What is her purpose? Like, what is her moves? You just show me the Rocket Lady and then telling me, oh, this is the damage the rocket does.
If you wanted to win, specifically in Trophy Hunt. Let's take a look at the rocket launcher free gunner Roka.
Who's the rocket launcher Roka? What does she do? Who is she?
She's able to deal 43 damage with direct hits while rapidly firing and establishing her lock on target almost instantly. After having done some watchbacks, it seems there's no real answer to what the distance of Roka's splash damage is, and how much it does consistently. So far, I've seen it hit from a decent distance for 12 damage, then also hit for 27 damage closer to the target.
Yo, what the fuck?
Roka
Ben says this is an AI review. Oh,
also
shit.
has 8 total rockets to
Yo,
difference
enough of
between
this
balancing.
dumbass
It is
clown.
entirely possible that with time, Concord will be able to get a better grasp for how balancing should be maintained, but the way it stands currently, I'm concerned for the more casual player's experience and general approachability.
You're concerned for the approachability. You did nothing in your preview to make it approachable. You're zooming in, talking about DP and hit points and all this analytical stuff in a friggin' preview that we haven't even done the beta yet. They're obviously going to balance it from feedback of the beta. Game's supposed to come out in friggin' August. What the hell are you talking about here? Get the hell out of you, clown show. You even got the maps wrong. Get the hell out of here, IGN, you trash. So therefore, what are you smoking saying Farah only does 40 damage in a direct hit? She does 120 damage on direct hit. Concord, these are all the comments. Let's read the comments to this clown right here. Why does she keep calling the game Concord? The beta is going to be interesting. Concord. She clearly doesn't know the name of the game. Nobody can convince me that this thing isn't made by AI. It's Concord. It's Concord, not Concord. It does. It reminds me of Destiny 2. That's what I'm saying. So just out of the clownery here of the video, let's look at some more here. Concord hands on. Let's see here. I'm not a multiplayer guy, but Concord, not Concord, made a first decent impression. They have here. After hands-on preview, development interview, I was pleasantly surprised by the approachability of PlayStation's new multiplayer. So this person is a complete opposite of what Concord IGN said in her thing, that he has the approachability is better. So let's see what he highlights in here. I just wanted to show some video gameplay of there. A biggest takeaway from Concord is that it's pretty straightforward. 5-on-5 shooter setup. What I mean is where the likes of Overwatch and Destiny focus on class-based characters, Concord's colorful cast of 16 free gunners doesn't necessarily fit into such clearly defined roles. Granted, didn't I just say this? And look at the quote from the developer. That IGN. Ignorance in IGN. Ignorance! Media clown show. There you go, media clown. Get Shaggy in there. Goddamn clown show.
Skip.
IGN. Skip.
But skip. Where you go? Skip. We skip. Simple as that.
Skip. We're skipping IGN. Skip. Here's the quote from the developer. We didn't rely on a class, tank, healer, DPS archetypes. So we pushed into something that was a bit more less restrictive, less prescriptive, and we started talking about play styles. Dude, the developer right here told her complaint. The developer quote. What the hell's wrong with IGN? Like, shit for brains. Shit for brains. Like, they're really that fucking incompetent. They're really that stupid. Really? Well, there's no class-based system. Zooming in and DPs and splash damage. What the hell are you talking about, lady? You AI. Concord. It's Concord. The hell they're wrong. Like, that's what I said. I was like, that was the stupidest thing ever. I saved it to watch it with the grinders. It says right there, we didn't want to tank heal customer. And didn't I just say they have kill confirmed? They have deathmatch in it. You don't want class-based systems. That means there's no objective matches. It says right here, we want ways to encourage players to be more creative. So we call these free runner roles, free gunner roles. Instead of telling how to play, we suggest what kind of approach to combat might work for the character. So they just put people in there with abilities and say, go do something. And that's what it is. There's no tank. There's no healer. Like, oh my God. IGN. Stupid again. Zoinks. Now look at this. They actually do the complete, like, man, I tell you, it's incredible how just incompetent the media is. Like, these are people's job. They get paid for this shit. And that's the coverage that they do. They allow the editors and shit, allow that shit to go out there. Like, lady, like the stuff that you're complaining about in this thing is irrelevant because first of all, it has to go out for beta. Secondly, not only has to go out for beta, but you're complaining about classes when the developer said that they're not putting classes in there purposefully in their design. That's their shtick. Concord's bad fur day. That's right. Of course they're stupid, Michael Moretti. Of course they are. The guy says, Tio, the Elite Soldier has mid-range thermal scope assisted rifle, backup sidearm, and frag smoke grenades is meant to cater to the everyday FPS shooter. The Field Medic Dawn, by contrast, is focused on healing and deploying safety dome barriers and firing between rounds. As for me, I gravitated towards Lennox, a lizard-like adventurer who could switch between handed heavy gun and rapid firing, creating a loop of kill, heal, repeat. While these specific characters fit into more standard offensive and defensive archetypes, I appreciate Concord's doesn't have a strict, you need X number of players per match. You need to have a healer, you need to have this, because obviously it is less of those class-based type of objective matches. Craziness. In the demo, they got to try out 10 out of the 16 free gunners. I'm already impressed with their versatility. Love that the Lennox is generally more of a gun blazing. My own criticism of the gameplay design of these characters rely pretty much on standard pistol rifle, shotgun weapons. I wish there were a few more quirky, unorthodox characters. Oh yeah, that would be cool if they had that. On the whole, the seems pretty diverse lineup so far, even with 6 more characters waiting in the wings. I also like that the roster isn't massive to start. It means that you should be able to jump in and learn each one without feeling overwhelmed. Overwatch 2 and its 40 plus characters might be the deeper, but there. So there is some balancing when you get to the one-on-one fighting. Listen, I'm still at this thing from these previews here. What I'm glad is that people got to play it. You got to play it on PS5s. And from what I see, the video, the previews sound decent, but I think I'm going to have to try it. I'm trying it myself, and then I'm going to determine it. Right now, there's nothing there right now for me that I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait for this. I'm not super hyped about it. It's going to be one of these tries and see if I like it and see if I enjoy the loop. That's for me. For me, right now, I'm not seeing anything from the gameplay, from the screenshots, from what it sounds like. It's nothing that's blown me away that I'm like, oh my, this is a must play. But hey, Helldivers 2 wasn't a must play for me either. When I was seeing the previews and seeing that stuff and seeing the stuff, I was like, oh, I'm going to try it out. And 70 hours later, I love that game. That's all I do is play it. It looks clean. That's right, Hooked. It does look clean. It looks like, it has some elements of the Destiny type mechanics. We got to see if these characters are engaging enough, if the gunplay is tight and shooting. Is it fun? Is it fun? That's the thing. And that's my take right now. So the previews got me going, hey, this doesn't seem like it's a crapshoot. This seems like a competent game with a specific design. Let's see if it holds my attention. And that's where the beta's coming in for that one. So that's right now from what I'm seeing. I'm not super drawn into like this is. I gotta like I am hyped for this. I'm not really hyped for it. So that's my Concord take right now from what I've seen with the so far. And it's a $40 game. That's right, Wild Wolf. It's not a $70 game on that one. True Witty, $2. He goes, IGN trying to do a hit piece. That's right, True Witty. IGN, they suck. They're the new we suck again, IGN.
Oh no!
They suck
again.
They suck. That is ridiculous. Dude, that was ridiculous, dude. I don't understand what kind of drugs they were smoking on that preview. Man, where was that kind of analysis when they were looking at Redfall? That's all I gotta say.
Illness.
Right? Where was that kind of zoom in and hit points and all that stuff when they're looking at Redfall hands-on? Or did anybody not do hands-on?
Gaming.
Oh, did anybody do the hands-on with Avowed or Indiana Jones? Anybody?
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell
Oh, shit.
We don't care.
I was wondering. I'm just wondering. Asking for friends. Asking for the friends of the Grindhouse. Where was that kind of analytical, the hit points on the vampires when they get stuck behind chairs and park benches? Oh, it's just it's Game of the Year potential. Oh, really? Game of the Year potential. The lady zooming in talking about hit points and hit boxes. Like, lady, it's not even beta. What are you talking about? IGN AI. Oh, damn. But speaking about something that I am hyped for, from what I've seen, Astrobot, baby. Astrobot got a hands-on as well. They got a hands-on as well, and John Litterman got to play it. And he said that this game is using the same basic technology of Astro's Playroom, which is to say it's slick and attractive. The internal resolution looks to be around 1872p, somewhere north of 80% of full 4K, similar to Playroom. And he says that, well, I got the little gist from here. Let's do the, what are my bookmarks here? We got, these are notifications. What are my bookmarks? Yeah, what the hell are they? Yeah, I tell you, with the horse shit. So right here, Steve Tittle has a preview here. How did the game get so fun? 1 year prototyping, studio-wide play sessions every 2 weeks for this Astrobot. We really don't want to treat the game as a toy as well. We want to treat the game as a toy as well as a game. But here's the stuff. The studio's DualSense 2.0 team quest for controller-based gameplay ideas. Oh, yeah. Getting vintage hardware into Astro's Playroom. Why Team Asobi boss was thanked in the Stellar Blade credits and more. So that's what he was saying in this one. But, the previews to Astrobot look friggin' awesome. And I think this is a no-brainer. That they're going to take that controller to the next level. The interactivity, the charm, the gameplay elements. You're going to get those kind of... I feel, even from watching the gameplay of it, I feel like you're going to get those kind of... those smirks that I get when I play, a Mario game and they introduce new mechanics, like the Mario Wonder. And I was just like, oh, wow, they're doing that now? Oh, this enemy does this. Really cool elements with that. So I feel like they're going to do the same thing, and I think the interactivity with the controller and the audio and the gameplay and looking sharp as can be, I think is really going to be something there. So the previews, I'm glad people got hands-on of it. That means this game's ready to go, and I think this is going to be really incredible, and it's going to be like a restamp of approval of the DualSense, of the PlayStation, of just what Astrobot did when it launched on the system. Remember, they gave it away for free. Another great thing. What's up, El Nini? Another great thing of the PlayStation 5 launch. Not only did they deliver Miles Morales and Demon Souls and what is it, Sackboy Adventures and those, they also gave this game Astrobot for free on the PlayStation 5, which took a full advantage of the DualSense controller. That was the thing that you put in everybody's hands. And that's another thing that they did right. They did something. And I think this doubling down and actually embracing what they created already and doing something like this is going to be awesome. So yeah, hands-on previews of this have been great. It's going to be another cool way of them integrating their IPs as well, and homage to their hardware and things like that. So I'm really interested to see the interactivity and kind of things that they're going to do to this. So yeah, the hands-on of this, really, people were blown away again, which is great. Hands-on, people playing games, getting some insight. We don't have no, as long as IGN's not doing no stupid shit, which they did. But hey, man, Astrobot hands-on seems to be going great as well. So those two things looking well. We'll see what Concord's about, or Concord, or whatever the hell that she called it. We'll see what that's going to be about. But right now, I'm gonna have to play it myself, stream it. We'll explore it together and see if it's something that will keep around, to see if it's gonna consume. I don't know. Is it gonna be like a Helldivers 2? I don't know. I think that there's definitely comparisons that are gonna be made with Concord. So and it's gonna have to stand on its own. So we'll see. They're gonna do those videos that they're gonna do with the characters. I don't know. It's a gamble. It's a service game. It may have a week or two of some streaming and things like that, or it may be one of those ones that kind of carry on and be a missing piece there. Speaking about missing pieces, Avowed says we have no time for co-op.
Prepare ship! Prepare ship for ludicrous speed. Fasten all seatbelts. Seal all entrances and exits. Close all shops in the mall. Cancel the free-range circus. Secure all animals in the zoo.
Yes. So apparently, Avowed not having co-op in it. And I think we knew that. And, they do have companions there, but they just said, hey, no time for co-op. And yet again, as we see ramp-ups as to Astrobot and Concord, hands-on, people playing, nobody has touched Avowed. No media person has played Avowed. It's been all kept behind the Xbox developers. That's it. Nobody has touched it. They talked about it. Nobody played it. Nobody got hands-on. Nobody's saying I'm playing Avowed. Nobody touched it. And all we hear about is, what do we hear? What is not in the game. And here we go. We heard about the third-person camera, which was an accessibility option that they said, hey, maybe we get the feedback, we might add it later. Now, no co-op. As typical, we keep hearing what's not in the games before they come out and nobody plays them. Good job on that one. Still don't have a release date to Avowed as well. No romance options. That's right, JP Loco. And no time for co-op. So, yep. This is a typical, typical Microsoft. But actually, we knew about this. It was confirmed last year when Obsidian brought it up a year ago, saying that they originally had plans to put co-op focus early in development, but changed to a traditional Obsidian single-player RPG. Also, it's going to be smaller in scope because Booty went in there with the scope and said he's fixing things.
You mean you changed it to the tree?
Yeah, used to be shithouse.
Oh, man, Booty. OG name, Shithouse. I'm getting the Ultimate Edition, Nassim, of Astrobot. And then on top of that, hey, Grinders, why not? Not only does Avowed not have time for co-op, not only does it not have the traditional RPG experience of a big game, it's going to be more akin to the Outer Worlds. But why not have some more news going to Avowed? Because why not? This is what they do. This is how Phil delivers quality, right? Avowed's combat wasn't ready to show at the reveal Obsidian admits, but they made it feel more juicy since. Oh, shit.
Is that a deal?
No, I keep losing at deals, and I don't want to make a deal anymore. I am leaving, and you can't stop me. I'm packing my bags.
I keep losing the deals. We think one day Phil and friends are going to say, guys, let's deliver some friggin' quality when we show the shit. Why don't we, when the game comes out, let's stop the horse shit. Let's actually deliver something that's competent. Let's deliver a game. Let's not do a Forza Motorsport and tell them we'll fix it later. Halo taking on the chin. Redfall taking on the chin. I get paid for more than I should get. Listen, like, do you see the difference? We had IGN's dumbass zooming in at 300%, talking about hit points and spread damage of rockets in a preview of an online game, a service game that's going to live on forever. But everybody's turning a cold shoulder to Avowed, who's just dropping bombs left and right, going, we don't have co-op. It's a shorter in scope. The combat wasn't ready for the show, but we showed it anyway. We fixed it. The third-person camera was an accessibility option. And then, we hear the feedback. Maybe we'll add it in. You can't hot swap it. That sounds interesting. No, everybody's just like, Avowed and Indiana Jones.
Move on. Nothing to see here. Please disperse. Nothing to see here. Please.
No. We can't look at Microsoft's game, but Concord. Holy shit. Hold on. Let me get the monocle out. Let me zoom in on this son of a bitch and see how much splash damage he gets with a rocket shot. Shit didn't even come out in beta. We're going to be playing it in a week. I'll tell you how good the rocket shot is. And then we got Avowed dropping shits all over the place.
You mean you changed it to the train?
They just keep saying,
Yeah, used to be shit house.
yeah, it wasn't ready. Sometimes you can lose sight on the importance of prioritization. Excuse me? Excuse me? You mean combat is not a prioritization? You lost the focus? Look, Obsidian have spent a lot of time tuning Avowed's combat in response to negative reactions to the new action RPG, the initial reveal at the developer's direct. Speaking to Bootleg, Palermo noted that Obsidian had always planned to give the game's sword and sorcerer components some love, but persuaded by the reaction to prioritize this aspect before showing the game off again at the summer showcase. She says, quote, sometimes you lose sight on the importance of prioritization. We thought Avowed was good enough to show as is. A lot of the stuff we knew we're going to get before shipping, which, by the way, we don't have a release date, was good enough to show at the show. A lot of stuff we knew we're going to get to do before shipping. The developers took the feedback in their stride. We just went, okay, let's look at this. This is a big deal. People are noticing this. We should polish this sooner. Oh, shit. That booty blues.
From that booty blues, coffee has gone cold, and you made Xbox lose their way with Halo. Stinky tears and spreading blood, trash finger strikes again.
Man, give me the Matt Booty Blues. Holy crap. This is what they're doing. We're still learning. We're still learning. Why is everybody learning? So the Avowed dev could talk like this. IGN zooming up the ass. Rocket shots. And DPs and spread damage. And time of a map to walk from one place to another. 11 seconds this way. 5 seconds this way. The monocles are out left and right. Meanwhile, Trashfinger and Avowed are just dropping bombshells. Well, we didn't think the combat was ready. We're still learning. We're going to add some shit. No co-op. Yeah, we just, you know what? We wanted co-op, but we can't do co-op. We wanted a bigger, we're doing, it's not even open world. It's zones and shit. Where's the monocles, IGN? Where is it? Micro's being soft again. They're being soft.
I'm gonna spell it out for you. S-A-W-F-T.
What I think is hilarious is that the developers took the feedback, quote, we just went, okay, let's look at this. This is a big deal. People are noticing the bullshit. We should polish this sooner. We really analyzed the feeling and moment when the player swings their weapon and the moment of impact. Were there any delays? Was there any system that might have been preventing it from being immediate? Look at the posing. Give it that visceral, immediate feedback. Where was all this shit before the feedback? Taking it on the chin, learning. Where was all... What the fuck? Wait, you realize this? In 2024, when I swing a friggin' sword, shit better react. All right? Unless this is bootleg goddamn Obsidian game, which that's what it seems like. It's bootleg Oblivion. We got bootleg Oblivion here. The C, B, D, and F teams working on this one. Where is the analyst? Look, these are quotes from the developer. This is not impressions. These are quotes from the developer explaining why their shit is not ready. Hence, we don't even have a release date to Avowed. No monocle here. No monocle here. Nothing to see. Where was this energy when you were developing the game? You had to wait to show it and people go, this looks like ass. All right, we're learning. We're still learning. I'm still learning.
Sir, do we get to win this time?
Phil going out doing his interviews, the Mickey Mouse of gaming, of Xbox. Oh boy, what can I say today? Oh, I'm gonna put games everywhere that you'll be. Oh boy, I shit myself. Phil Spencer doing interviews.
Means when I think about Xbox, I'm going to think about quality games. We have work to do there. We haven't done our best work over the last few years with our first-party output.
That's always been a hit on the company on that. Whenever I hear some criticism.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd say always. Like
Phil Spencer talking about dude, Mickey Mouse Castle's burning down. Phil, you're out there parading in the streets. The shit burning behind you. I have a question, Phil. I have a question. We have seen Avowed when it was a CGI video 3 years ago. Why the hell is the developer talking now on July 3rd, 2024? The game is supposed to come out in the second half of this year with no release date yet. And they're saying, quote, if I make a swing in first person, I need to make a swing in third person. In another type of view that's not shared meshes of animation. They are different, and our system supports playing them at the same time. If you look at your shadow, we'll be able to see the same third person animations as the first person representation mesh is doing. So we had to do it early because we basically need to double the amount of animations. Avowed's choice of first or third person because no, it's not as simple as yanking a camera out of a character's head. I have questions. Why are we talking basic shit? Now, looking at posing, given that visceral, immediate feedback, we really want to focus on that and the blood impacts and the FXX feedback and the audio. We basically went and looked at all the pieces that make combat feel more feedback. And we're talking July 5th. They're talking about, it sounds like this game got another year going on right now. The way that, we got to put the shadows in there and this. What the fuck? What do you mean? The first thing says you put a sword into some of the bitch's hand, you got to feel the impact. Who skipped over that? Who said that that's not important right now? Who said you could lose sight of the importance? Excuse me? July 5th, they're talking like this game is still like, yeah, we gotta fix the combat. Nothing to see here, though. No monocles here. Nobody touched it. That's another example. Nobody's played it. Anybody touch Indiana Jones? Anybody play Indiana Jones? Nope. Nobody played Indiana Jones either. Oh, but Xbox had a great show. You play any of it? Nope. This is coming out this year? Supposedly. No co-op. No open world. What are we doing here? But Concord, we get the monocle out and talking about splash damage and weapon balancing before the beta even comes out and time to move around on the map. I see some sort of a little, that was a preview nonetheless. Let's go back to Redfall previews. They weren't allowed to talk about the gameplay at all. They only could talk about the character. Oh, she's nice. Oh, she got blue hair and red eyes. Is she nice? She grew up in the islands and got moved over. Like, yeah, I don't give a shit about the story of the lead. That was the Redfall previews. Redfall previews were like, oh, well, we only could talk about the characters. No frame rate conversations. We don't talk about frame rate. We're not going to talk about the gunplay in Redfall. We're not going to talk about the AI. We only could talk about the character and where they were born. It's like, what? That previews, game of the year, the character, she's nice. She's nice. She had a little backstory. Very nice. What? Nah, we don't talk. We don't talk. We don't take the monocle off of there. Nothing to see here. That's right. What are we doing here?
I don't play this game.
My God. Yeah. July 5th. Oh, well, we got In the Shadows. What? In the Shadows? We got In the Shadows. Are you kidding me? Meanwhile, Phil Spencer running around. He's fucking wilding. Hey, wilding. This guy, Mickey Mouse, in the streets. Doing interviews left and right. Meanwhile, the shit burning downstairs. They're putting shadows in. Shadows. They're making the sword combat feel bad. What? What the fuck? The sword now? We're fixing swords. Holy shit. Grinders, the day has come. The day has come. Finally. Finally. Trash finger strikes again.
Mode base.
Finally, Grinders. The day has come. You got what they've wanted so much. It has finally showed up. Hit that like button, Grinders. It is a special Saturday show. I know the Grinders are not. They're on their weekend stride. But finally, Grinders, what does $80 billion get you? Tell them. Tell them. Finally. They waited so long. Crash. Coming to Gamepass. Bootleg confirms. This is what they've been waiting for. The big W. Spyro. Tony Hawk. Crash. It's all coming finally. The Insane Trilogy. $80 billion. Just so they can play Crash in Game Pass. Fine. What the hell are we supposed to do? $80 billion, gotta make a splash. To be relevant, we'll go all out, no holding back. Led by Phyllis and Booty, we'll bring the games everywhere. No more sucking, it's time to show we care. Next topic. Next topic. Finally, it's there. So, DoubtFoundry, bamboozled, flabbergasted, muff diving. Oh shit! No, not that one. Oh damn. No. The DoubtFoundry now has said some insights as to why the PS5 is outperforming the Xbox. That's right, PlayStation 5. Yes.
Unreal Engine 5.
Let's hear them. Bamboozled, dumbfounded, flabbergasted, bedazzled.
Titles. We've
Muff
seen
dived,
pretty much always an
I don't
Xbox
know.
Series X advantage in terms of resolution, but usually the thing is like they use things like dynamic resolution, so the differences in resolution are
negligible.
It's really not the way you would, like on PC, I've always said I would never tell you just to run a game at a slightly higher dynamic resolution. I would say bump up settings or something like that, but that's not the way games are optimized for console. So in Unreal Engine 5 games, typically we see better results on Xbox, but the reason for that is because I think there's a difference in like a lopsidedness for both of the platforms here. Xbox Series X has way more compute units at a lower frequency, and in this case here for Unreal Engine, which in Unreal Engine 5 using software Lumen, almost everything is compute. There's very little actually like straight up rasterization of the traditional sense. Most of the lighting is done through compute and things like that. So it pushes everything in the favor of the box that has way more compute than the other box. But in a cross-generation title, for example, which we've also seen a lot of them, or those titles that are built in a way that is not leveraging a lot of compute, which would be probably against the current paradigm of the way game development's running. That'd be a little bit older school. Well,
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you
We don't care.
Clown Foundry. Listen. You were bamboozled, flabbergasted, wined and dined over the Series X and the power, and all you saw was power when you dumbasses didn't even see the shit in front of your face with the One X. How games on the PS4 were running smoother and better, and the power of just brute power did not mean shit because it's software. It's not the hardware. My God. For people that have PCs, like, my God, it's this. You could have a goddamn 9090 goddamn GPA. You get a software that's not optimized to run on PC and it will run like shit. It doesn't matter the hardware. And you dumbass foundries all talked about hardware and forgot the other component, the software. And on top of that, the software, it's a business. It's timing, optimization, utilization, cost, market share. There's a business to it as well. It's not just raw dog goddamn software development. They will optimize what the system that is going to be more market penetrable that's out there, more devices to potentially sell, and port it over accordingly. Don't you remember back in the 360, 10 million the thing was that you get your hardware in developers' hands so they use your system to optimize the game first and then port that shit over to the other consoles. Hence, that's why the PS3 had such a long haul, because not only was it more complicated, the market penetration was low because the cost of it, but then also it was a complicated cell processor. The 360 kind of got out there sooner. Developers were optimizing 360, and the PS3 versions were ported over and suffered from it because the development was focused on a certain piece of hardware. But you guys are just bamboozled and flabbergasted. And shout out to Vamos Real. Look at this little setup here.
And one of the things that a double-edged sword with Xbox Series X is that, yeah, you can just run DX12 code on it and just straight up port DXR from PC, but that wouldn't give you great advantages that the Xbox hardware can offer you. Like you can, as we've seen in games like Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora, which has, I think, a good advantage on Xbox Series X versus PS5, if I'm recalling Tom's review correctly. Is there they actually take advantage of a whole bunch of low-level functions of both of the consoles to make it run as well as it does and look as good as it does. And if you don't use those and you just ran straight DXR on an Xbox Series X, oh yeah, you would definitely lose a lot of performance otherwise that you would be getting back on the PS5 side of things, because you'd have offline BVH, you could be doing like custom traversal, you could do a custom BVH entirely like they did in Frontiers of Pandora. If you weren't doing those things on consoles, it would probably be slower. So if you are having a much more portable game to Xbox Series X because you want to just run the DX12 code there, so you don't want to have to do like a super dedicated port, just one that's a little bit more hands-off, then it would probably run slower than a really nicely specifically coded PS5 game.
Okay, fair enough. Hopefully we've got...
The reality, though, is that the SSD is just one piece of the puzzle. There's a lot of places where bottlenecks can occur in between the SSD and the game code that uses the data. You can see this on PlayStation 4. If I use an SSD with 10 times the speed of a standard hard drive, I probably see only double the loading speed, if that. For PlayStation 5, our goal was not just that the SSD itself be 100 times faster. It was that game loads and streaming would be 100 times faster. So every single potential bottleneck needed to be addressed. Back to the flash controller. On the other side, it connects to our main custom chip via 4 lanes of Gen 4 PCIe. And inside the main custom chip is a pretty hefty unit dedicated to I/O. Before we talk about what that does, let's talk compression for a moment. PlayStation 4 used zlib as its compression format. We decided to use it again on PlayStation 5, but on my 2017 tour of developers, I learned about a new format called Kraken from Rad Game Tools.
Kraken.
It's like zlib's smarter cousin. Simple, similar types of algorithms, but about 10% better compression, which is pretty big. That means 10% more game on the UHD Blu-ray disc, or I'll evaluate it. So we hustled and built a custom decompressor into the I/O unit, one capable of handling over 5 gigabytes of Kraken format input data a second. After decompression, that typically becomes 8 or 9 gigabytes, but the unit itself is capable of outputting as much as 22 gigabytes a second if the data happen to compress particularly well. By the way, in terms of performance, that custom decompressor equates to 9 of our Zen 2 cores. That's what it would take to decompress the Kraken stream with a conventional CPU. There's a lot more in the custom I/O unit, including
there is a lot more, Cerny. Tell them the way it is.
The game can direct exactly.
Tell them, Cerny. Custom bitch.
Over time, but here comes Mark Cerny with his tech game strong. Gonna burn down Xbox through PlayStation's King Kong.
Hit that like button, bitches!
Mark coming for Phil with the PS5 Pro in hand, flexing that power, gonna make the stand. Phil running scared, he's got no innovation on his side. Gonna show what Xbox don't got. Still taking us on a ride. Graphics in 4K, colors pop like a dream. Ray tracing in action, it's a whole new scene. Resolution scaling, bringing visuals to life.
Hit that like button now! Woo!
On Cerny, checkered shirt, ready to throw down. PS5 Pro, gonna take the gaming crown. Phil Spencer, stuttering like Satcha. Hona, PS5 Pro on fire, gonna bring the fun. Mark's got the tech cutting edge and it bends with the power of the PS5. Gonna make you dance. Phil sweating bullets, can't keep up the pace. Cerny shows no mercy. Game over, he got this race. Satcha stuttering, saying
out to this guy. Goddamn Dana Carvey. Listen to his ass. Oh yeah.
Mark's journey is ready to begin.
There it is, grinders. Gaming Grindhouse music coming straight at you. Ultimate Grinders, enjoying all the great hits of the Gaming Grindhouse. Goddamn, Dana Carvey right there. He just told you, bottlenecks, we fix the shit. Digital DoubtFoundry. You bet on the wrong horse. You bet on green. You bet on Horseville Ness. With Booty Jockey. The Booty Jockey. You bet on the wrong horse. And now you're DoubtFoundry figuring out why this thing bamboozled, flabbergasted, glitches. You bet on the wrong horse. Dude told you about bottlenecks. They built the console to play games. They didn't build it for server farms. They didn't build it for the cloud. They didn't throw a goddamn huge teraflop engine into it and said, just work. You bet on that one with the magnets and the cereal boxes and the dude with the beard. This guy built a console to play friggin' games and reduce bottlenecks as much as possible. Shit just works. Microsoft took a powerful engine and threw it in the box and said, oh, and by the way, here's a weak one too. You got to do both of them. Yeah, you forget about booster, right? You forget about the boosters. I'm sure that goes in the design of an Xbox too, because if you look, sometimes the PlayStation version is basically from the PC. Similar things where the Xbox family of consoles share similar things, like grass just be missing. Phil the Lawnmower Man Spencer doing his job. Like, similar things in the Xbox family are just missing stuff. You know? You know, that's the difference. You look, it's like, oh yeah, like even when you look at even Sea of Thieves and stuff, even Microsoft, their own games. The PlayStation was built as a console to optimize games built for it and to make it easy for developers. Microsoft Frankenstein the console and then gave Frankenstein Jr. and basically said, now you got to do both. So you can't really even see the power of the Series X because they saw scalability. Well, compromises need to be made for scalability. And speaking about scalability, Xbox Live went down, or the services went down for almost a half a day. People couldn't even boot up single-player games, and people were reminded about the cloud and services and all this wonderful future that they have, where they just want to sign their credit card away and just say, hey, when the system's down, you don't own anything. So, you know, what I find is for a company that wants to be a leader, for a company that wants to pave the way and be this disruptor and be this leader of services and content and where you can play, they mess up a lot. And these things, I understand, happen, but they're black eyes. They're not good ways in demonstrating leadership. Maybe you should have started out a little smaller rather than chumming the waters. Maybe you should have started out a little bit smaller. And I think it's pretty interesting is that they say sign into Xbox Live services. Excuse me, Xbox support, McFly. Xbox Live is gone. What's Xbox Live? Somebody better tell Xbox support that Xbox Live doesn't exist anymore. It's Xbox Core, right? There's no such thing as Xbox Live anymore. Doesn't Xbox support need to be reminded of that? But this, once again, micro being
There's only one word to describe
messaging.
you, and I'm gonna spell it out for you.
There is no Xbox Live. The official Xbox support website saying Xbox Live. Who? Xbox Live's been gone. It's not. There's no Xbox Live anymore. It's Xbox services. There's no Live. Yeah, good job. Good job. Somebody messaging yet again. Yeah, this. Let me go look to their website thing. Let's see. It's still limited right now. No, all services have been going. Yeah, there's no Xbox Live on their website. It says Xbox status services, cloud, Xbox Cloud Gaming. I don't see Live. I might better remind them. They rebranded that last year. Did you get the memo? Xbox support. Did you get the memo? Anyway, it went down. People were flipping out. Shit happens. But, hey, man, it's another, like I said, if they were more subtle with it, but they come out front and center, tout out Phil Ness Mouse, booty interviews, not delivering quality games, excuses upon excuses, looking the other way. We're sorry. We're learning. We're still exploring. You want to be a leader, you got to demonstrate with quality and leadership. And they don't. That's been the problem, man. That's what they do. And on the heels of this, they made this wonderful announcement too. Like, it's just they can't get out of their own way. It's like, oh yeah, well, we're going to have Xbox coming to a Fire Stick. Play more games, no console needed, per their Xbox Wire website. They're competing with themselves. Whoever came up with this whole no console needed is a clown, is a fool. That is not the marketing. Listen, grinders. We have over 180 people here on a Saturday. I want to thank everybody. Hit that like button. We're going to break this down. Let me explain something to you. If I was marketing this stuff, I would say, guys, marketing team, we want to put Xbox in more places. Let's come up with a tagline. I don't know what dope came up with the tagline, no console required, no console needed. When you're selling a console. And on top of that, you're doubling down. Just a few weeks ago, you told people to buy the stripper edition Xbox Series X for $600. Stripper glitter and all. You just increased the price of the Series S to $350. You're asking more money for the consoles that you are marketing that you don't need. This is talking out of two sides of their mouth and their booty hole. Whoever came up with this messaging is a goddamn clown. If it was me, I would have said, your games, your choice. Your games, your choice. I would not say something that I'm selling is not needed anymore. You're basically self-sabotaging. Now, if they want to get off of that said thing, and they're just stringing along a bunch of suckers to pay more money for the console that they don't give a shit about, now I could see them choosing no console needed. But if I was still selling a console and asking more money and hyping up another portable version of the console, I would not be marketing these moves as no console needed. I would just say, your games, your choice. Something very vague, just as an option. It's out there everywhere you are. Our games will be there. Something along those lines. Where you are, our games are there. That's it. Who the hell would say, guys, we got people in the back room building these consoles. Well, we're going to put out this move of putting them on Fire TVs, and I'm going to say no console needed. How do you feel the people that are building the consoles? What does that say to somebody walking into a store knowing that, hey, I just saw an ad that said no Xbox needed? You're going to go walk into a store or go on a website and buy the console? Because you got to remember, the consumer is not as educated in knowing what the messaging is. They're just going to see no console needed, just like they did with Starfield. No console required. And it's just like the marketing. Listen, we'll talk about the move, but the marketing is so stupid. Unless they really want you not buying a console, because that's what this says. That's what it says. It just said no console needed. You can't be any clearer than that. And that's the thing that's in bold. Instead of your game. Shit, I hit the thing. Sorry about that. Jesus. Sorry about that. Oh, right in my ear. That's why they just put out a huge expensive console. They pull, like, my thing is the marketing of Microsoft is all over the friggin' place. But if they really want you off of the console, then that's why they're marketing like this. Because I wouldn't market like this. If I was still making consoles, I just came out with new versions 2 weeks ago. Why would you even do that? They did it with Starfield last year. The biggest game coming out that could probably drive console sales and drive their ecosystem. And you market as no console needed, play it on Samsung TV? Are you stupid? Because I can tell you, there's a lot more Samsung TV ads than a friggin' Xbox console ad. So the thing that's going to see more is going to be like, oh, I'm looking for TVs. Samsung TV, no console required. Oh, wow. Because people are shopping more for TVs. Fire sticks. Now, when you look for a Fire Stick, you're going to see, oh, look, no Xbox console needed. Oh. Like, do you understand? Like, they're putting this message on general electronic devices that get more eyes on them than on gaming. Thank you, Hanzu. Thank you, Henzu. Exactly, Sam C. Like, I don't know, Microsoft's trying to destroy their console, overall the console industry as a whole. It's a stupid slogan. And my problem more is it's always been with their messaging. They're not clear. They are stupid because they are hurting themselves in this thing. If you are still making consoles, why would you market this move as no console needed? It's true, but there are so many more ways you could put it. Like I said, your games more places, your games everywhere. Xbox goes with you. This is another move of Xbox going where you are. Or Xbox, or your games coming with you, or your games everywhere. Your games, your choice. All these kind of things are very general, and it says the same message. And I think it's a much more holistic message and a better message than this message, unless this is what they want. They want you off of the console, which goes to my Grindadamas prediction in the sense that the console, the forward compatibility that Sarah Bond is working on is getting you off the console. I think it's emulation of the Xbox. Forward compatibility. Everything that you purchased on Xbox will go with you to the cloud and to PC. And that's the end of the console. They are done with it. And they will do a hybrid PC, Windows ARM device, some bullshit like that will be Windows based, and it'll have an emulator for Xbox run through the app, which will have big screen, and Xbox will live on through the app. That is, I feel like, is their future. That's my prediction. Because they will not market no console needed if they wanted you to go buy a console. Because what they're taking is potential customers that would probably, oh, wow, Indiana Jones, oh, maybe I'll get an Xbox to play it. Well, messaging like this, no console needed, doesn't make you think to go get a console. They go, oh, wow, I could play it without buying it. Don't buy our shit. That's what that says. And I don't know what company in the world self-sabotages their own stuff that they're making? I don't know. Like, people in the chat, if there's any other company that makes something, like Apple going like, hey, don't buy our iPhone. You could get our same experiences on Android. You know, like, I don't know. Like, what company who makes something, a hardware or something like that, tells you to do something else and don't buy their stuff? Because I can't think of one. I can't think of a company that's actually making something, like, unless they're winding it down, which they just announced new consoles a couple of weeks ago. Like, I don't know. Who tells you don't buy my stuff? Because, and on top of that, look where they put it. On Xbox Wire. Dude. This is not on NBC. This is not on like some generic. You put this title on the Xbox website. The thing that was built because of the console. You named Xbox because of the console. Xbox Wire tells you don't buy the console. And this is why that Xbox stick went away, because them to make more hardware, they're like, let's just put this on a stick. This does the same thing that the Xbox stick, or that thing that was going to rumor to do it. And when this first was announced, the one thing that's very interesting with this is that now their cloud gaming is actually competing with its own console space. See, when cloud was first put out there, it was a way to get you to game in other places. Right? The cloud was put there to access these games via a phone or strap on with a phone. To access these games maybe on a PC screen. The cloud was a way to get you to play in different places that the console couldn't reach. That was the cloud. The cloud was to bring in new players. The cloud was to bring in new players. People on mobile. People on PC. People that don't have a powerful PC. Now your cloud is going to compete for the one screen that your console is specialized for. So now you are really
number one customer
shitting in your pants. Now you are taking the stick that's on the big screen where you said the console lives. The console should, sitting back on a couch and playing my games on a TV, that's the console experience. Well, now you just took that and given people an option to not experience that with a console and with a Fire Stick. And now we know it's not going to be the same experience. But does the customer know? They don't know any better unless you show them. If they're playing Xcloud on their Fire Stick, are they going to be like, hey, man, for $500-$600, you could get a console, put it under here, under the TV, first mount it maybe or something like that, and you could get a better experience. They're going to be like, well, wait, no, I'm fine. Dude, I'm fine. You basically just met people where your console lives. That's where I think that this whole play is pretty whack. Because, like, not only are we saying no console needed, but now the Fire TV is on the same input, on a different input that your console lives. And your console can't go anywhere. The console was that living room TV experience. And now you just brought those games and those experiences, no console needed, to the same TV. Now you're really competing with yourself. You're fighting with yourself over that living room space. And with the messaging of no console needed. Now we know that there's going to be different experiences. We know that Fire TVs with Bluetooth connected to your friggin' Fire Stick is going to suck ass. We know that. We know this is not going to be an ideal experience. Hell, Amazon Fire TV it lags when you're trying to open up a friggin' Netflix. Stuttering and shit. Imagine hooking up a Bluetooth controller to that trash and then streaming over Wi-Fi, because a lot of these Fire Sticks don't have Ethernet ports. And do you have an Ethernet port running to your TV? Probably not. You don't. Michael Meridian with the 5. He goes, Jez is in the leaks. A cloud hybrid running on ARM. Yeah. And Windows ARM is not having a good day. He got more broken ARM. But that's another story. But they are really competing with themselves. They are really nuking their console. Because you're showing people less is more. Hey, you don't need a $500, $300 machine. Hell, the Series S booster was at $150. Almost the price of a friggin' Fire Stick. A Fire Cube. Media device, all that stuff? Nope. I don't get it. Because now your cloud is replacing your console. That's right, Miss Tennis. ARM on Windows is a disaster. But who knows? But this is the problem. This is what the things that they're going to do. Like, and this is a pretty much the replacement to what that Xbox Longfellow, whatever the hell it's called, Project Long Stick. They're just going to do Fire TVs. Will it be successful? Will it grow the market? No. Xbox Cloud hasn't. As Sarah Bond said on the oath, the Xbox Cloud has only shifted the people that play on Xbox. It didn't bring in new people. Little Timmy, who's playing Panda Pop, didn't give a shit about Gears on a phone for $70 and a strap-on controller and $15, $17 a month. They didn't want that. She said it. All it did was it just took the dudes playing on console and said, hey, dude, now you can play on your phone too. Okay, cool. You're taking the same customer and they're moving their games around. That's all you're doing. You're not bringing in new people. You're not. And Luna, Amazon got Luna. The actual Luna controller connects through Wi-Fi. You know, and this is another thing. And I don't, and let me just see, let me just bring up this. Because I want you to see this. The Luna controller connect via Wi-Fi, connects directly to Amazon's custom game servers using Cloud Direct technology for that play. Use Luna controller as a game controller on any Bluetooth cable device, but it connects through Wi-Fi to your tablet. But it also could connect via Bluetooth. Low latency gameplay. An Xbox controller to a stick, I don't think it's connecting through Wi-Fi. So let's see what they say here. Because you could even use a PlayStation controller. Simply install and launch the Xbox app from your Fire TV. Sign into your account. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Sign into your account. Uh-oh. What happens? We got to sign into account. We don't want the crybabies. We got to be careful. Connect a Bluetooth-enabled controller, like the Xbox controller, the adaptive controller, the PlayStation DualSense or DualShock 4 controllers. So there is no Wi-Fi connection to the stick. So tell me about latency there. And then there's a Fire Stick Ethernet adapter. That come out? Yeah, there's another Fire. You got to buy that. But the Wi-Fi, that's the whole point. If you remember, when people have those strap-ons to the phones, connect through USB, because you don't want a Bluetooth to a phone and then have that streaming, because now you inserted more latency to it. Because now you got the latency of the stream, and now your control latency is through Bluetooth latency. Through that. So is this the ideal way to play? No. And you need Ultimate. It's not $10 a month. Low monthly cost of $17.99 a month. So go buy a controller, which wireless controller, DualSense, they're $50, $60, and go sign up $17.99 a month. Here you go. No barrier. No barrier. I'm sitting here watching The Boys on goddamn Amazon Fire Stick, and I'm like, oh, Xbox. Well, how I play this? Go get a controller? Because you got talking about. You're gonna talk about somebody who is naive to this. You can't talk about somebody who's like, oh yeah, I game on my Xbox downstairs. This is great. Because all this is doing is just shifting that person. You're basically telling the dude that owns like 2 Xboxes and he gets a new TV in another room, hey dude, you don't need to buy another one. No, buy it. No, you don't have to buy it. Just use a Fire Stick. You basically are losing a console sale to a potential one that probably wants to buy a console for every TV in the house. But now, talk about somebody who you're trying to get with this. They don't know anything about it. You're watching The Boys. Oh, yeah, whoa, Xbox on here. Well, let me click on it. Oh, go connect a Bluetooth controller. Oh, shit, I got to go buy one. That's $50. Sign up for our service, $17.99 a month. Whoa. People are complaining about Spotify going from $10 to $11. Now tell me to go pay $17.99 a month. People flipping their shit about Spotify going up $1 from $10.99 to $11.99. That's the sweet spot. $17.99, almost $20 a month. And a $50 controller minimum. I'm being generous. $40 controller. And then say barriers. No barriers. The bullshit barriers. That's a more of a problem barrier. Because now, guess what? You stop subscribing, that controller works shit. Because if that's who you're trying to attract, the people watching around the TV, no console required. Oh, I just got to go buy a controller and subscribe $17 a month. I don't get it. That seems like a pretty high barrier to commit $17.99 a month for one service in addition to all the services you're paying for. Netflix, Spotify, Hulu, YouTube TV, $80 a month. But that's to watch TV with the family and sports. This is to play games streamed over Wi-Fi and use a Bluetooth controller. The worst way to experience these games. And guess what else? It's the games that Microsoft tells you because they're part of subscriptions. It's not even games that you want to play. You have no choice in shopping and buying and bringing your games. It's the games that they choose when they're in the service and when they leave the service. So it's not even games that you want to play. Oh man, I can't wait to play the next Resident Evil. I can't wait to play. Well, no, they're not in Gamepass. So $17.99 a month doesn't get you the games that you want to play. Nor can you buy the games that you want to play. That's why when they say no console required, they are hurting themselves because the console gives you access to buying games and having much more access to games that you want than the limited version of streaming them. For first off, the technology of it, but secondly, the ecosystem of it. You're only limited to Game Pass Ultimate. Hence, there are even games that come out on PC and on console, but not on cloud. You don't have access to them on Fire TV. You don't have access to them because Microsoft didn't make a cloud version or they didn't allow a cloud version. Actually, 5 Alarm Fire will grinders. 5-alarm fire.
Whatever your name is, get ready for the big surprise.
Wait a second, grinders. Wait a second. Wait a second. Just to kind of put a little cherry on top of that. Call of Duty ain't on the cloud. And actually, Xbox Cloud is still in beta. Warzone, not on Xcloud. Will Call of Duty games ever come to Xbox Cloud? So there got to be cloud versions of these games. Just because they're on Xbox doesn't mean they're on the cloud. If you notice, when you look at their releases, they'll say you'll see a game show up again on their Xbox Gamepass ad because it said it's not on cloud. Because now they made a cloud version of it. The publisher has to agree to put it on the cloud. So you have a much limited games because and if it comes off of Game Pass, guess what? You don't get it anymore. That's it. You're paying $17.99 a month, and they determine what's available to you. So tell me, as a gamer, you can't play the games that you want. So a person that's not interested in gaming is going to subscribe to a service that has games that they have no choice over, and they got to spend $17.99 a month and buy a $40 to $70 Bluetooth controller. Like, you tried this before. Like, I feel like we're in the Matrix Revolutions again. The architect is like, forgo Microsoft. Therefore, if you forgo that if there is an equation and you try to use the console games to work on a phone with the controller strap-on, ergo, that did not work. So now we're back to choice. Go through the left door, and there will be quality games. And our real focus on what should be done with the gaming and Xbox. Go through the right door and deal with more bullshit. And still continue to fail on 5 in iterations. And Zion dies again, either way. Just go through here. And you could try doing the same bullshit that you just did on a phone. And realize that under oath, those people don't give a shit about your games. You know what gets a gamer to buy games? Is a game they want to play. It's sitting on a goddamn Sunday afternoon, watching football, watching a Spider-Man swoop across the fucking screen. Fighting, shooting stuff, Miles right behind them. Yo, what game is that? Where can I play that? Play it day one on PlayStation. Oh, I gotta go get one. Sitting there watching the NBA Finals, watching a movie, waiting for the trailers, and all of a sudden on the screen comes, yo, what the hell is this game? Hey, that's the guy from Walking Dead. What is he doing? Yo, what are these black things coming out of the wall, the strandings? What's this? Is this a game? This don't look like a game. Death Stranding 2, PlayStation. Yo, I'm getting a PlayStation after this movie. That's what gets people interested in games and gaming. Games. Games.
Gaming.
Not sitting there going like, oh, we're going to subscribe. No. The service, the controller, that's all barriers. People are not even going to go through those barriers to figure out what the hell they want to play because they have nothing to know. You show the games, the content is what people want to play. That's what gaming is about, the games. That's what it's about. It's not the tech. It's not the access. People will find ways to get what they want. And the question is if they want it. That's the question you have failed to answer. Why do I want to play Xbox games? We'll fix it. We heard you. Co-op was there. It's not there. We're going to fix the shadows. And when you swing a sword, it hits. The vampire AI is stuck behind a chair. Like, the fuck? Nobody gives a shit. If the gamers don't care about your game, Timmy watching Amazon Fire Stick ain't going to give a shit either. And you found that out the hard way. You already done this. You already did this shit with the phones. Now you're doing it with Fire TVs. Phil, there's no win here. Hell, Exoprimal, Capcom's Exoprimal game, launched in Game Pass. Oh, it launched in Game Pass. Please, ladies and gentlemen, Exoprimal, Capcom's game launched in Game Pass.
Oh, and second of
Please.
New games are coming fast. 12 minutes and 80s. And they're all on Game Pass. Some of them are like a Requiem. What to play first and what to play last. Star Ratchet 2, Ground, Truman Doom. Cause they're all on Game Pass. Among Us, The Ascent, and more.
Exoprimal done. Their final season. Season 4, Exoprimal. A game that was in Game Pass is going to end on July 11th. Did it matter? Friends, did it matter? Did it matter how many people had access to the game? Did it matter? Less than a year, they are done. Hell, it dropped off in a few days. That's right, Alpha Ghost. It dropped off in a few days. It did. Added to Bleeding Edge. These games launched in Game Pass. Game Pass, this game was accessible all over the place. Oh, on all PCs, all cell phones, Samsung TVs, everywhere. Everywhere that your subscription goes, Exoprimal was there. They talk about how many people play day one, how many people are playing, how many people have access, more people to play our games. You think Capcom's like, oh, yeah, it's wonderful. Now Capcom skip, right? Exoprimal's stopping, and what do they say with Street Fighter? Marvel versus Capcom. Capcom, how do you feel?
Skip. Go for son.
Skip.
Yeah.
But skip.
Where you go?
Skip. We skip.
Simple as that.
Skip.
But you would think, Leech, it launched in Game Pass. Game Pass is everywhere. That accessibility should be something, right? Doesn't matter. This is my point. It's always been my point. Get us interested in the games. Then I'll worry about your services. But Microsoft has been hand over fist talking about all services, where to play, all this stuff first. And the content is suffering. You see articles I showed you earlier about Avowed. We've seen with Redfall. We've seen Halo. We've seen Starfield. We've seen Forza Motorsport. A franchise that never miss. Arcane don't miss. Well, they missed and they got let go. Because the content is hurt by Microsoft's vision of this bullshit future. And I wouldn't care if the games came out and they were worthy of playing. But when it's consistent mediocrity, and the proof is that it does not matter access. And yes, this is not a Microsoft game, but this was a Game Pass deal. This was a deal that Capcom said, yo, let's get that exposure out there. maybe the success of this game was like, yo, let's not deal with Marvel vs. Capcom and
Skip. Go for son.
Skip.
Yeah.
we skip it.
Skip.
Simple as that.
Skip. Now they're Capcom skip Xbox. This thing didn't make it out a year. And now with Microsoft, oh, now play on an Amazon stick. It's like, dude, stop it. Enough.
Stop. Enough.
That's the problem. It's always been the problem. They focus so much on all this other shit. And listen, I see the cartwheels and the tricks and the what's an Xbox now, what's all this stuff. But let me tell you something. When Digital Foundry and friends and everybody was sitting around watching that console launch, and that Series X, Power Your Dreams, was there. This is not the future that people were expecting, because who would buy an Xbox knowing this is what they were going to do with it? Put it on sticks, put it on phones, put it all everywhere, like put it on Samsung TVs. Like this, like people would second guess their purchase. And what's crazy is that if this was Microsoft's vision, they never proceeded that way. And they pivoted so many times because their experiments failed. It failed. And you know what's telling is that back in February, Valentine's Day Massacre, and you saw what Phil Spencer said about putting his games on other consoles, and the uproar, the pushback from people was ridiculous. How dare you do this? Blah, blah, blah. I don't trust you. You're not my friend. Like, this is horrible. What's hilarious is the same people before that Valentine's Day Massacre, the same podcasts, the same shows, the same YouTubers, the same Twitters, all been saying for years, exclusives don't matter. It's about where you play. Exclusives are anti-consumer. Phil told me all about this exclusivity and how it's dying. We don't need it. I play everywhere. It's everywhere to play except a PlayStation. That's not really, that's still exclusivity. No, we're going to buy Activision and take Call of Duty away. We're going to take Bethesda. Starfield's exclusive. But then exclusives don't matter. And the same people that were chanting that exclusives are end of the world, they got faked out when Phil gave them exclusive Starfield. They kind of came back. And the same people who were chanting about exclusives or anti-consumer are now yelling at Phil going, how dare you put out games everywhere, when Phil was like, games everywhere. The same people are saying games everywhere. It's like, make up your friggin' mind. Well, are you exclusive or are you not exclusive? Because all the people that said exclusives don't matter got real puckered up when Phil started putting their games on PlayStation. It's like, what? So, likewise, it's because it failed. Fire Sticks, this is because the mobile failed. They got to do something with this cloud shit. Put it on an Amazon. I recall Phil sitting there saying that Amazon was a competitor. You just put your shit on your competitor. You're going to help them sell Fire Sticks? What happens if they throw in Luna controllers now and they don't want to subscribe to you and Luna's included with Prime? Thanks, Phil. Like, Amazon was your competition. Now they're hosting your services and cloud gaming? Likewise, Phil wasn't saying when the Series X launched, oh, it's about everywhere, your choice, buy your games. No, what was Phil saying when he was launching his console?
Build a great Project Scarlet. I want people to feel like they can have amazing console experiences they've never seen before, and that they've got the best lineup of content and services of any platform out there. And we're totally focused on that. And I know we have other things going with like coming to PC and Xcloud, but I'll say that being a leader in console is something that the team is committed to doing. And we're not building this program to try to aim for second place. We were going to build it aiming for first place, and that's what I want to hit.
Really?
One of the other things.
That don't sound like somebody that says play where you want, your choice. He wanted to be a leader in console. He wanted to lead with Project Scarlet, which is your Series S, the Series X. He wanted to lead, and he even poo-poos the PC and cloud in that quote. Oh, yeah, we're doing PC and cloud, but I want the console to be the leader. What? What was that, Phil, again? I need to see this again. I need a refresh. I need a vision. Grind, hit that like button.
Build a great Project Scarlet. I want people to feel like they can have amazing console experiences they've never seen before, and that they've got the best lineup of content and services of any platform out there. And we're totally focused on that. And I know we have other things going with like coming to PC and Xcloud, but I'll say that being a leader in console is something that the team is committed to doing. And we're not building this program to try to aim for second place. We were going to build it aiming for first place, and that's what I want to hit.
One of the other things.
Really? That's what I mean. People, oh yeah, this is great. Dude, this is not what you signed up for. This is not what the messaging was. Like I said, there are so many different ways to try to say what they're doing. Your game's with you. Your games go. Like get a console and go buy a stick to kind of accessorize for an Xbox. Like bundle the stick with the friggin' Xbox. Like I don't know. There are ways to make this kind of seem more of as a choice, like what he says, than a replacement. And when you see this marketing, it's a replacement. And that might be what they want. But this, I don't understand the marketing of it. And now you're competing with yourself. Because the console is the better experience. It gives you access to games that you own. It gives you access to games that you could buy. Games that are not in the subscription service. The Fire Stick is limited to what's in Gamepass Cloud, which is still in beta. And it's a latency-filled experience. And waiting for games. Queued it up. So, it's not going to grow at all. This is just another chum the water. And it's just going to move Xbox guys around. That's all it's going to do. All you're doing is diluting and breaking up whatever you have left of that small install base. And that's what you want to do. I don't get it. You have the small console diehard install base that will buy everything and the most important, and all you're doing is moving them around and letting them play on other places.
About console is it's your highest value gamer. It's your person who plays the most, they buy the most. But the thing that's also important is that customer is actually your most valuable customer across every device.
Well, that don't sound like growth. That sounds like just moving shit around. And what you're doing is that you're taking the customer who knew the goods of what Xbox was, and you're having them explore other places to play. Think about it. You have these Xbox guys that went to PC, me example, went to PC, and it's like Xbox just releases trash. Nobody's sitting around staring at an Xbox game store going, when's the next game going to come here? Because now you're on another device. It doesn't matter when that game comes because you could play a litany of other games that never came to Xbox. And that's because Phil told you to go try something else. instead of keeping that person in his ecosystem and feeding them games and having them buy. Like, think about it. If you were looking at an Xbox store and that was all you had and you were just looking, maybe you go buy that AA game, that single A game. Maybe you do. Because that's your options right there. But it feels like, hey, don't stay on this. And they get 100% of that stuff. But Phil goes, hey, you know what? Don't stay here. Go play all the shit that when it comes, go play it on PC. Go play somewhere else. Go play on PlayStation. Good. Well, you just told that customer, spend their money somewhere else. Now that customers are going to go buy stuff from Steam summer sales. They can go buy stuff from the PlayStation store. They're going to go buy stuff from other things. And guess what they're not doing? They're not buying shit from your store. Because you just made your stuff available everywhere else. And you told them to go there. They didn't just discover it. You said, no, go. See you later. This is not even making them buy it. But you just chased away. You took your small install base and you're diluting them continuously. And then you wonder why you're not growing. You wonder why your services aren't servicing. You wonder, and I can tell you, the thing that you need to focus on is quality games and quality content, and stop making mistakes and stop making, tell me what's not in your game. Market the shit out of your game and be confident in it. They don't do that. Nobody touched Avowed. Nobody has touched Indiana Jones. They don't have release dates. How do you even start a marketing campaign when we're now halfway through the year and these games are supposed to come out the second half of the year? And nobody played them. You got Astrobot with hands-on. You got hands-on. We're all going to be playing for in Concord in a week or so. After Sony just released and dropped games. Compulsion Games, people they bought in 2018 have yet to show, like, nobody's touched their game. They finally got to show some in-engine gameplay, a Perfect Dark. Or in-game, or whatever the hell it was captured. Nobody touched Perfect Dark. Nobody played it. Phil and Booty were around doing interviews. They were around. Where are the games? Who cares about the executive sitting down doing an interview? Give me a freaking controller. Show me what I'm playing. Nobody touched any of their first-party games. And that's what I said. The marketing is atrocious. I don't know what they're trying to do. I think they're just trying to move people off a console. And like I said, that forward shit that she's trying to do, that forward compatibility, is bringing Xbox emulator to PC or something like that. But that's what I think they're doing. But yeah. But that's, like I said, your games, your choice. Play where you are. Xbox goes with you. So many other ways of sending the message, being positive and sending the message. But when you are saying that again, after you just did it last year with Samsung TVs and Fire TVs, the TV, the thing that the console lives on, now you basically are competing with yourself. Now that TV now is being, do I use the Fire Stick or do I get a console? We know the answer to that, but a general customer don't know. Oh, I could just play Xbox games on my Fire Stick? Okay. Well, good job. You just took that person now, and now they can't. Now and now they got to buy a controller and not buy a console, and they're not even. You can't even buy games, dude. You got to go look up what's in the service. You don't, and when it leaves. And like I said, people don't game like that. People who don't care about games, what gets them interested in gaming are games. What was that I just saw before my show? What's that? What is that Astrobot? That looks like a fun game to play with the family, that Astrobot. Where can I play it? Let's go get one. The games. People are not going to subscribe to a service and then go, oh, let me figure out what am I going to play. Here's $18, Microsoft. I just bought a $60 controller. I'm paying you $18. Now let me sit here and figure out what am I going to play. What? Who spends money like that? Who Who spends money? Anybody in the chat? You
You're
spend
my
money.
#1 customer.
Jenna Hayes with the 5. You go, perfect, Doc. Look no better than Killzone Shadowfall. Oh, shit. That's right. Nobody played it either. So let's see what it looks like when it comes out. But like, who games like that? Who goes all the way and buying a controller, subscribing to a service, and figure out what am I going to play? Who does that? Oh, I'm signing up for Netflix because Stranger Things coming out. Oh, I'm going to sign up for Netflix because I'm going to try to figure out what I'm going to watch. No, you sign up for Netflix because there's a show that's in there. I'm signing up for Prime because The Boys is there. Nobody signs up for a subscription going, well, I don't know what I'm going to watch. Let me pay $18 a month and figure out. Yo, if you got disposable income like that, shout out to you. But that's not how this shit works. There's a reason why people will subscribe and engage. And it's about the content. That's like Kevin with the 2. He goes, GTA 6 gonna run like shit on the Fire Stick. Oh, damn. You bet your ass. Everything gonna run like shit on a Fire Stick. Bluetooth can get the hell out of here. This is another crawl up the booty's ass. They're partnering with their competition. Right, Ryan? It's common sense. Yeah, exactly. Ron M says that Microsoft is expecting the customer to come in the door ass backwards. They're like, really? Who? Dude, they've you could play Fortnite for free on Xbox Cloud. No console required, nothing. That announcement was made a year and a half. Like, none of these moves are making any waves. None of them are. They're just like, yeah, okay. It's just crapshoots. That's all it is. It's like, yeah, put our app over there. Just do it. It's all crapshoots. It's all
You're my #1 customer.
It's all just a waste. It's all crapshoot. Oh, yeah, let's put our app on a Fire TV. It's like, well, what's that going to do for our consoles? I don't know. Just say no console required. You sure? Yeah, that's right. Stupid ways, man. Their marketing sucks.
Oh no! We suck again!
Gaming on an Amazon Fire Stick. I got an answer for you. Actually, shout out to the grinders. Gaming on a Fire Stick. Hit that like button.
It was a disaster, Ron.
It's a disaster.
It was a disaster, Ron.
It's a train wreck.
It was a disaster, Ron. It was a disaster, Ron.
Gaming on a Fire Stick.
It was a disaster, Ron.
Please. Tell us how you really feel, Peter Molyneux.
It was a disaster, Ron. It was a disaster, Ron. It was a disaster, Ron.
Grinders, hit that like button. We're heading out of here. Yo, again, no Green and Grindhouse next week, but hit that like button, share it out. I appreciate everybody coming in here. Shout out to all the members, and the super chats. I thank everybody for all your support. We're in a new month now with July, so get ready. We're gonna do gaming. We're gonna do game nights. We're gonna do more music coming your way, and definitely hit that like button and share it out. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Means when I think about Xbox, I'm going to think about.
And here we go.
So we have work to do. We haven't done our best work.
Good night.
With our first party outfit.
Yeah, that's always been a hit on the company. I missed you. I hear some criticism.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd say always. Like, I think we've gone through
not
times
to
where
throw
we've done
mud on me, but now you have to know that's a fair. I think it's something fair to say.
It is fair to say, and.
It was a disaster. 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 It was a disaster.
It's just not true that if we
it was
go
a
off
disaster.
and build great games, all of a sudden you're going to see console share shift in some dramatic way. We lost the worst generation to lose in the Xbox One generation, where everybody built their digital library of games.
I'm here.
Enough!
It was a disaster. It was a disaster. It was a disaster.
That's work in gaming. It's a core business for us.